Hello, gonna do a video today on why I read the King James Bible. I believe the King James Bible to be the Word of God. When I first started going to church years ago, back in 2004, before I got saved, went to a Baptist church, and I had a NIV Bible. Wasn't saved. Nothing made sense. Preacher was preaching the King James, and I was sitting in the pew, and I had my NIV Bible, and I was like, that didn't make sense. And so they have some chick tracts there. I started reading chick tracts, and I probably read like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 tracts. And October 2004, that's when I got saved. Hallelujah, thank God. And I didn't know much about the Bible issue, NIV, King James. I didn't know nothing. Well, one night the pastor came over, and he's like, heard you got saved. Like, yeah, I got saved, and I read these chick tracts, and I prayed on my bed, cried to God, and forgive me and save me from hell. And he did. I never looked back since. He asked me what Bible I read. So I talked about the Bible, and I said, oh, the NIV Bible. I still got it right here. The way the camera is, it's got everything that's written backwards, but I thought that's a pretty good Bible. He goes, let me see that thing. I said, okay. And he said, look at the King James here. It's Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, as in the morning. Son of the morning, how art you cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. Son of the morning, not a good thing, of course. And of course, Revelation 22:16 calls Jesus Christ, he calls himself the bright morning star. He's talking here. I can go there and read that. Revelation 22:16 says, I, Jesus, have sent my angel to testify unto these things, and the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So he said, look at your NIV. I'm like, okay. You look at Isaiah 14:12. I'm like, okay. I was just a baby Christian. I didn't know. It says, this is NIV Bible right here. Isaiah 14:12. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth. You were once laid down below the nations. That's Isaiah 14:12, the NIV version. You catch that? A morning star calls Satan the same thing as Jesus. The NIV Bible that's supposed to be updated, this one right here, says Jesus and Satan are the same, basically. I was like, oh, what do you mean? Even as if I only saved maybe a week, 2 weeks maybe, I can't really remember. It's been almost 20 years. I was like, uh-oh, me and my wife looked at each other. Oh, that's not good. So I think we went that night or next day to even the dollar store somewhere, Dollar Tree, and got some King James Bibles. We got rid of this thing. I just kept it. My mom gave me this, and I'm not saying anyone who reads the NIV is going to hell, nothing like that. My mother-in-law is a devoted Christian, NIV reader, but I will say one thing: if you don't read the King James and you're NIV, you miss a lot of good stuff out of the King James. Well, number one, the King James has all the verses there. NIV don't have all the verses. They have thousands of missing verses and probably 10,000 missing words. They will say something like, this verse is not in here because it wasn't the original. Cast out. Take the blood out of the blood sacrifice of Christ. Take the blood out of the word. Just creates a lot of doubt. And not to mention, you miss reading the NIV, you miss all the really good doctrine. Rightly dividing the word, that verse is not in here. It says something else. I'm not going to go there. But all the doctrine, advanced revelations, King James, and I think it's Daniel 12 verse 4 says, seal the book, knowledge shall be increased. You know, back then, they're like, knowledge should be increased, you know, versus like the mark of the beast. How's that going to be? How's that going to come to pass? People didn't understand that. Now we understand it. It was advanced revelation back then. So, if you're a NIV reader, you might really want to look at that Bible version and look at the King James and get some good doctrine. You know, compare Bibles. I have read the King James. I started reading the King James. I fell in love with it. Light came on. Spiritually helped me so much. I mean, I read it. I'm not bragging, but I read it from Genesis to Revelation, cover to cover, every year since I got saved. And I've been saved since late 2004. So, yeah, the King James Bible, that's the Word of God. Actually, I have to read some passages here. The Book of Songs. Book of Songs 12, verses 6 and 7. The words of the Lord are pure words, as silver tried in a furnace of earth, purified 7 times. Thou shalt keep them, O Lord, thou shalt preserve them from this generation forever. And not going to beat the King James. It's the Word of God. People might be like, well, how do you know? Well, think about it. Look at all the revivals and all the fruit that the King James Bible has produced. I mean, it's authorized version. Look at these NIV that change. NIV, New NIV, RSV, King James. Look at all the time it's changed. And the King James is translated down from Antioch, Syria, Acts 11:26, when they first called Christians. This is where the King James was translated down from. NIV translated from Alexander, Egypt. A guy who's a pagan philosopher. His name is actually Saint Origen. His name's Origen. Imagine that. He's a saint now in the Catholic Church. So, brethren, stick with the King James, please. If you're not a King James reader yet, look into it. You would be, you'll find yourself really blessed if you do. You won't be sorry. So, thank you for watching. Stay strong in the Lord. Take care, brother.